Hi everyone, and welcome to the 5th episode of Torqueconomics Weekly Automotive Update. This video covers the week of 15th to 22nd of February 2025. Let's dive right into the headlines of the week. We start with the aftermath from the failed merger of Honda and Nissan. More details were revealed this week, citing a clash of egos. Specifically, a Japanese news source stated Honda wanted to abandon Nissan's hybrid technology in the theoretically merged company. Honda also stated the deal could come back if Nissan changes CEOs. Moving on, Trump has doubled down on his tariff plans for the 2nd of April. Apparently, the new plans will target all automotive imports into the USA, not just Canada and Mexico. The amount will be a blanket 25% if it were to go ahead. Here's a clip of Trump's speech.
And because of what we're doing economically and through tariffs and taxes and incentives, they want to come back into the United States. And we'll be announcing various very large companies, the biggest actually. And they'll be coming back having to do with chips and having to do also with cars.
Japanese automotive companies have expressed concern, stating Trump is bad for business. Japan's auto industry will be hit hard if the plans were to go ahead, especially as their exports to China continue to fall. Now, let's talk about Ford. Ford has been wounded by a slew of bad news this week. Namely, they have been tabbed for a $2.5 billion settlement as a result of a rollover accident in Georgia. The accident happened in 2022, and it involves an F-250. As seen in the photo, 2 people passed away as the roof of the truck caved in after rolling over. Allegedly, this was a known issue, hence the significance of the settlement. Additionally, Ford has delayed the next generation of F-150 until 2028, as the company is rejiggling its roadmaps to improve profitability. Furthermore, the company has announced that most of its middle management will miss stock bonuses this year. Ford's stock price has traded down by almost 10% in the past month with these issues arising, not to mention the potential impact of tariffs. Across the Atlantic, the Volkswagen Group makes changes as well in an attempt to turn things around after slowing sales. The company has halved its production capacity in the home country of Germany. 35,000 jobs will be cut over the next 5 years as a result. Nevertheless, according to Autoblog, the company plans to launch 9 new models by 2027, most of which are EVs. So far, the company has confirmed ID1 and ID2 hatchbacks. Audi, which is owned by Volkswagen, also plans to make changes to improve profits. Their plan involves going upper market with an increasing price. This is interesting as Volkswagen also owns Porsche and Bentley, which means Audi going upper market may eat into the sister brand's customer bases. The German auto parts manufacturer Continental, most well known for their tyres, will also cut 10% of their global workforce. This is yet another signal of the struggling German automotive industry. Shifting gears to the Chinese car company XPENG, also known as XPENG. The company is making strides into the UK with their new SUV range. The prices significantly undercut competitors including the VW ID3. Moreover, the recent self-driving developments have been crowned as a DeepSeek moment by MotorTrend. The stiffening competition coming out of China is perhaps why GM just shuttered an assembly plant in the region this week. Chinese domestic competition has slowly driven out global manufacturers. Another piece of news this week demonstrates quite well why Chinese companies are dominating in the EV space. It was discovered that BYD holds significant lithium mining rights in Brazil. China is known to hold the most battery production capacity in the world, and car companies from the nation are vertically integrated, so they are able to release new models quickly with price discounts. However, the same advantage brings flaws from a consumer point of view. For example, BYD releases iterative updates to their vehicles almost yearly. As a result, they received thousands of complaints on the Chinese consumer complaint portal this week, largely due to newly released models and price cuts of vehicles disadvantaging earlier consumers. So far, such complaints have been largely unaddressed. Although Chinese companies aren't the only ones receiving complaints in China, but Tesla takes a more unusual approach. Tesla has opted to sue customers expressing dissatisfaction for defamation to silence critics. Staying on the topic of Tesla, the company has begun production of the new Model Y in both the US and China. The car is expected to hit the road March this year. Lastly, on the EVs, the electric truck manufacturer Nikola is officially bankrupt and is now selling its remaining assets to cover its creditors. Moving on, we have a couple of headlines from BMW this week. The first is their newly released center lock wheels for the North American market. The wheels have been made available for the M2, M3 and M4. They allow for faster wheel change in a racing scenario. I am not too sure how many buyers will opt for this option, given BMW has set the price tag at a hefty $20,000 for the package. The M division boss at BMW said in an interview he was surprised at the body shaming of the new M5. I think it is deserved given the car is much heavier and slower than its older generation. Either way, he has expressed that the company may not reveal car weights at early stages of vehicle testing to avoid the situation in the future. Also from BMW, supposedly they are in development of a new ECU system called the Heart of Joy for their upcoming high-performance EVs, including the upcoming iM3. BMW have invested significantly into developing this new ECU, which will both manage drivetrain and power dynamics. We also have a couple pieces of news in motorsport this week. The Nürburgring has banned motorcycles from coexisting with cars on the track, citing safety concerns. However, the Nürburgring organization is still committed in running motorcycle-only sessions separately. Albon and Sainz of the F1 team Williams have spoken out against the ban on swearing by the FIA. I agree with their sentiment. The FIA is too soft in my opinion, and the ban tries to disallow real emotions of the drivers. Into the They Just Can't Make It Right section. We have a very short list this week. Both are from Ford. 149,000 Broncos made from 2021 to 2024 are being recalled for external reservoir of the rear shock absorber subjected to falling off. More so, 240,000 Ford Explorers and Lincoln Aviators are being recalled for a seatbelt anchor issue. Finally, looking at our releases and discontinuations monitor. There is a new top-of-the-line electric Rolls-Royce Spectre called the Black Badge. It will arrive in April with 659 horsepowers, which is 75 more horsepower than the standard Spectre. Rivian is coming out with an off-road focused version of its R1S SUV called the R1 California Dune Edition. It comes with an impressive 850 horsepower and 1,103 pound-feet of torque. It is priced at just over $100,000 US. Similarly, Hyundai is looking to release an off-road version of their Ioniq 5 electric crossover to be named the XRT. The model is expected to release sometime later this year. Kia, which is owned by Hyundai, is looking to expand its lineup with a cheap sedan offering called the EV4. The model will target the lower priced market of the European region. Acura is releasing the 2025 ADX crossover at a starting price of $36,000 in the USA, which makes this one of the brand's cheapest cars. It comes with the Honda 1.5-litre turbo engine producing about 200 horsepower. Now, that was all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and please look forward to weekly videos on an ongoing basis. On that bombshell, goodbye.